Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do the $20 makeup challenge. I've received multiple requests to do this and I think this tag sounds like so much fun. So I sat down and I thought about what products I wanted to use, and now I'm going to show you what I came up with. And I'll tell you the prices of each item as I go along, and then the grand total at the end. And then I'll list all the products in the description box and their prices, and then put the grand total again there in case you want to look at those numbers again. So yeah, this is a tag that's going around YouTube, and so far the only gurus that I've seen do it are the ones that always use a lot of drugstore makeup, but I would love to see a guru do this that uses just high-end department stores normally. I think that would be a blast to see what choices they would make, and I'll bet you some of them wouldn't even be able to do it because they just, are so used to using their high-end products that they probably wouldn't be able to come up with a combination to do this with. But anyways, let me show you what I decided to use. I always start my makeup routine with Blistex, and I recently purchased a new tube of this at a discount store for $1.99. So that's the price of this first product. And my lips get very dry, so I have to do this for my first step always. So I'm just going to work that in. And then by the time I got to the end and put the lipstick on, it should go on nicely. Okay, the next product I'm going to use is Lacura foundation, and this is in number 10 transparent. I got this for 99 cents at Aldi supermarket. And thank goodness that I did get this about, I don't know, a month ago, because otherwise it would have been very hard to do this challenge without it. I did have some other ideas, though, that I could have used. Oh, actually, I should shake that up a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to use my fingers for this. I am going to use some brushes in this challenge today, but not this. Actually, let me get these pieces of hair out of the way. So I'm just going to use my fingers to apply this, because to try to incorporate a foundation brush into this would up the price. I'll tell you, I thought this was going to be a piece of cake. I thought this was going to be so easy to do everything for $20 and under, and I was very surprised that it was actually harder to come up with a list of products than what I thought. I mean, yeah, you can skip certain things, but then your makeup's not going to look very good. And I deliberately chose things that I've used many times before that I know that I like, so that I knew I would be happy with the end result. Okay, this foundation doesn't have much coverage to it at all. That's why it's called transparent, I guess. But that's just more or less going to be as my base. Next, I'm going to use my Essence Forget It Concealer Palette. And this is terrific because I'm going to use the pinkish color under my eyes as a corrector. And see how I have this little red spot right here? I'm not even sure what that's from, some kind of little skin irritation. I'm going to take some of that green color and just dab that on there to try to fade that red I don't even know what's that's from. Could be an insect bite or anything. Anyway, I figured I would find a way to use all three colors in this palette. So I'm going to use that pink color as an under eye corrector. I used to use this all the time before I started using the Maybelline Dream Lumi concealer. And it is good. I mean, look at the difference between the two eyes. So it does work well. I just happen to think that the Maybelline just has a slight edge on the effectiveness here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take this e.l.f. clarifying pressed powder, and this is Tone 1, and I'm going to use that to set my foundation. And I'm going to use this Essence blush brush, and this is $2.99 for this, and I'm going to use that with the powder. Now, of course, I could use less expensive tools. I could use, you know, some kind of a powder puff thing, or there's lots of different things I could use, but I really like brushes, and I really prefer to use them if I can. So for $2.99, I figured this was a good choice. Okay, now I'm going to have to use that same brush now to apply my blush, and I'm going to use Essence Silky Touch blush, and the color is number 10, and it's called Adorable. And now for an eyeshadow primer, I'm going to go back to the Essence Forget It Concealer palette, and I'm going to use the concealer as an eyeshadow, which you absolutely can do in a pinch. Many people do use this, just not people on YouTube. But in the makeup world, I've read a lot of like makeup artist instructional type books. A lot of people use concealer as an eyeshadow base. People on YouTube seem to have their own way of doing things, a little different than professional makeup artists. But yeah, concealer works really well as an eyeshadow base. If you have extremely oily lids though, then that might not work for you. But for the average person, I would say yes. Okay, next up I'm going to use an e.l.f. Brightening Eye Color Quad in the color Ivy. And I'm going to use the green shadows on this side here. I have not used this palette in a long time, and I really love it. This is a terrific palette. The colors are so pretty. So I'm going to apply the light green color to my eyelids with this e.l.f. Essence eyeshadow brush, and this was $1.19 for this. And the e.l.f. palette is $1, in case I forgot to say that. Okay, now I'm going to have to use the same brush to go in with the darker green color. Okay, now I don't dare use this brush as an eyeliner, which I normally would. And if I use an eyeliner, that's going to put me over the $20 limit. So I'm going to have to just forego the eyeliner today and leave it at that. Next I'm going to use Jordana Best Lash Volumizing Mascara. I don't like this mascara, but I'm glad I didn't throw it away. Otherwise I wouldn't have had a mascara to use that would stay in the budget. So I'm not crazy about this, but it's going to have to do. And the reason why I don't like it is, see that wand? Every time I buy a mascara that has a big brush on the wand, I end up not liking it. This mascara got rave reviews too on Makeup Alley, but it's just not for me. I think people tend to have a lot of personal preferences when it comes to their mascaras. And I really like a smaller wand on mine. Okay, and for lipstick I'm going to use Essence lipstick in Sparkling Miracle. And I had showed you Fairy Tale the other day, which is also a good one. But then I was like going through the drawer with my lipsticks and stuff the other night. And I found this one and I was like, oh yeah, this is a good one too. So Sparkling Miracle, and these are $2.49 a piece. And this is one of those lipsticks that does not need a lip liner. So that is the finished look, and those products total $19.13. And I don't know if the brushes or whatever you use for applicators was supposed to be included in this. I did see one video where she included that in the cost. I think some people are going to end up doing this as just what the makeup cost them and not the applicators. But I figured I would do it that way because it would make it more challenging. But that is the finished look, $19.13. And yeah, if you make videos, try this. This is really, really fun to do. And like I said, I hope this catches on and some of the gurus that only use department store makeup do this, because I think that would be even more fun to see them struggling to try to find products to use. So take care, and I'll list everything down in the description box for the products that I used today, and the prices, and the total, and also what I'm wearing for clothes and jewelry. So I'll see you next time. Bye!